It's just about a little bit after 6, and we've got about 10 people here. So we'll go ahead and get started. And as people join, they'll just kind of join in wherever we are. So I'll just introduce myself. My name is John. First of all, just welcome to this info session on the Nashville Food Co-op. And my name is John Loyd. I'm a musician. I'm a professional piano technician, and I also serve on the board at the Food Co-op. So my excitement in food co-ops starts about 15 years ago when I was living in Brooklyn, New York, and I joined the Park Slope Food Co-op. And as a boy from Georgia in my 20s, I never experienced anything like that. So as far as grocery stores go, and as a New Yorker at the time, paying New York City rent, and as a musician, I was really excited and happy about the prices and the quality that I got at that store. So nothing really compared to it after that. After I left and then kind of went back to, like most people, shopping at conventional grocery stores, it was pretty much a letdown ever since. So when I moved to Nashville and met Ellery at a tabling event at Earth Day, I was an immediate just sign up. I was just, here's my money, and and count me in. So that's kind of in a nutshell why I joined. But so all right, I'm going to turn my video off for the time being, if I can, and just go. You'll just see my screen. So give me a second to find that. It's going to take a second for me to get this. Here we go. All right. So, okay, please feel free to add questions in the chat box. Emily is there. She's going to receive them and respond. And then there was going to be some time for questions at the end as well. So without further ado, let's take a look at how the shopping and ownership experience of a food co-op offers more than simply a place to shop. Okay, our mission is to provide Nashville with affordable, sustainable food. The Nashville Food Co-op will be a community hub where people enjoy full service grocery shopping with local, organic, and consciously sourced products. Locally focused, community owned. So what is a cooperative? Well, a cooperative is an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. A cooperative exists to meet the needs of its members, not for shareholder or investor profit. Technically, it is not a nonprofit, but it's not really a for-profit either, because all profits are either reinvested back into the cooperative or given back to its members through either lower prices or a patronage dividend. There are four main types of co-ops. You have credit unions, grower co-ops, such as Florida's Natural or Equal Exchange Coffee. You have electric co-ops, and you have consumer co-ops. The Nashville Food Co-op is a consumer co-op. There are 7 principles that govern cooperatives. The first is voluntary and open membership. Ownership is open to everyone who wants to join without discrimination. The second principle is democratic member control. Those who buy the goods and services control the company. One person, one vote. No one can have a majority interest or buy more control than anyone else. The third principle is member economic participation. Everyone pays the same one-time membership fee. No one can pay more in membership fees to get more profit. But the more someone shops at the co-op, the higher their benefits. The fourth principle is autonomy and independence. Any partnerships with Nashville Food Co-op forms, that the Nashville Food Co-op forms will be done in a way that maintains democratic control and cooperative autonomy. Owners control co-ops, not investors or other companies. Fifth, education, training, and information are central to co-ops. Cooperatives provide education and training for members, managers, and employees so they can all effectively contribute to the development of the cooperative. Sixth, cooperatives work together to help other cooperatives in formal and informal ways. There are several co-op groups that help new cooperatives open and maintain their organizations, including Cooperative Grocers Association, the Cooperative Grocer Network, and the Food Cooperative Initiative. And all of those have helped us and continue to help us in our growth and development. The last principle links the other principles together, and that is that cooperatives operate with a concern for community. We focus on member needs, working for the sustainable growth of our community and their communities through community-focused policies and programs. Because of the 7 principles we just talked about, co-ops are intrinsically different in their culture and structure than traditional grocery stores. They are a place for community. Shoppers can connect with the people who provide the products they purchase, as well as connect to other members of the co-op. Many co-ops hold community nights like barbecues or $3 dinners or something like wine tastings. These are just examples, but the Nashville Food Co-op holds open meetups at local breweries as well when social distancing guidelines allow. But for now, we are just meeting virtually until we can meet again in person safely. So many community events focus on education, including cooking classes and healthy eating workshops. Some examples from other cooperatives' class schedules include homemade salad dressings or fermenting or spice up your life, things like that. Shopping can be an education experience as well at a co-op. Cooperatives use detailed labeling practices to educate shoppers on how their food is produced, like organic or biodynamic farming or integrated pest management. Find heritage food types at a co-op, including heirloom vegetables or new food preparation methods. And learn about the farmers and artisans that make the products sold in the store. Food co-ops provide another revenue stream for local farmers who often struggle to meet the requirements to sell to larger traditional grocery stores or can only sell limited quantities during seasonal farmers markets. Many co-ops also serve as a warehouse and owner of food processing equipment to allow the rest of the community to access local food, whether it be through local schools, churches, or restaurants. A true local food economy requires local processing to prevent spoilage and increase variety. And this cannot be done without warehouses, equipment, and a transportation network. So many food cooperatives are able to use the grocery store itself to fund this very important behind the scenes network. Food co-ops also allow money to stay in the local economy. Both suppliers and profits stay in the community rather than leaving the state or even the country. Shoppers buy groceries grown by farmers in their region. And this is one of the most impactful aspects of food cooperatives on the local economy. The last principle we talked about in the 7 principles of cooperative was concern for community. This is the principle that drives mutual aid and community helping community. Mutual aid is support to community members that is self-organized and egalitarian. It focuses on direct action with a goal of social transformation. Mutual aid is different than a nonprofit, top-down donor model. Instead, the community is the center of everything in a co-op. No hierarchy. The community decides what is needed and makes it happen without relying on those outside the community. Here are some examples. Oops. Let's go back to that. Here's just a few examples of what some things that other co-ops around the country do so like coronavirus relief, or there's a community fridge. I imagine that's like some kind of donation to their community. And then Mandala Groceries Karma Jar. I guess use your imagination for what those are for. These are all things that these individual co-ops came up with to support and give mutual aid to their community. So when will this be a reality? It's a great question, and we are in a growth process. So we're going to talk about this growth process right now. There are 5 major steps to opening a co-op. Step 1 here is conception and research. This step happens when the co-op has between 0 and 300 owners. During this step, we organize and recruit volunteers, incorporate the organization and finalize our bylaws, design a mission and a logo, and begin our ownership drive. And owners are key for our growth in this step and really all steps. Step 2 is organization. Step 2 is organization. There it is again. During this step, we develop a business plan and set up a loan committee to fund the construction of a store. And we set up a finance committee to create a budget, reach out to the community, and create marketing for the co-op. Step 3 is planning and location. In this step, we conduct a final market analysis, decide where to construct a store and what to stock for our customers. We choose a site and begin designing the store. And we reach out to farmers and other suppliers to stock the co-op and finalize the business plan and the loan to open the store. Step 4 is pre-construction. In this step, we secure the loan funds, begin building, complete the store design, and define the equipment the store will need. And we also hire a manager, general manager. And finally, in step 5, the construction and opening. In this step, we finalize the budget, marketing plan, and hire and train the staff. Then we open. Currently, we have 178 members. And we have experienced exponential growth in 2020 with over 100 new members last year. And this month, we have had over 10 people join. So we have seen a lot of growth recently, so we want to keep up the trend for sure. But you might ask how we could get there sooner. And here's a little model to show how we could get there sooner. Essentially, if every co-owner recruits 1 friend to join this year, we will end 2021 with 356 co-owners. And that puts us in stage 2. But if every co-owner recruits 2 friends to join, we will end this year with 534 owners, which just puts us shy of stage 3 in planning. But if every co-owner recruits 5 friends to join this year, we will end 2021 with 1,068 co-owners. And this puts us in the middle of stage 4, pre-construction, where we secure loan funds, hire a store manager, and get so close to opening our store. So sharing and with your friends is essential in building our community. Store location is the number one question we receive from prospective owners. Where will it be located? Well, it's a great question and it's important to many owners. The good news is the location is up to the owners. Of course, careful planning, including pricing, available real estate at the time, and market study research will factor into the decision, but every owner will have a say in where the store opens. This is one way the Nashville Food Co-op respects the principle of democratic member control. We have some current member benefits for our member owners. We have wholesale buying for owners through the Frontier Co-op, which is once per month, and the co-op submits an order with Frontier and distributes the products to members. So you can start saving on groceries right away. Frontier Wholesale includes organic and sustainable products as well as traditional products. And another important benefit is the opportunity to meet like-minded people and join some of the community events. Founding members get to begin providing their input right away. You might even decide to join one of the committees to help open the store. So that's it. Become an owner. How can you become an owner? Visit Nashville Food Co-op website and look for the Join the Co-op button. There is a one-time fee to become a member, and membership is for life. One membership covers an entire household, and we also have payment plans and gift memberships available as well. Of course, cooperatives depend on the cooperation of the community. So please spread the word, tell other Nashvillians who might be interested in shopping sustainably and locally, and please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Owners are central to making the Nashville Food Co-op a reality, so please join us. And with that, we will take some questions if you have any. I'm going to exit this screen and pop back on. There we are. Cool. Anything in there, Emily?
Nothing in the chat window except a really cool comment by Karina, who says that they have community fridges in Dickerson and at Elephant Gallery, which is really neat. I don't know of one near me, but I love that concept.
Yeah, that is cool. Certainly something to take note of, and I imagine would be implemented into our store as well.
Oh, good question. You see that, John?
Do we have a breakdown of where current owners live? We have addresses for all of our members. It's not, we don't have it like pegged on a map, but they're all in Nashville or central Middle Tennessee, and pretty spread out all over. There are most people in Davidson County, and then a few outer counties around Davidson. So another question here, it says, what other suppliers might you use? Thinking of, for example, Federation of Ohio River Co-ops. Well, I do know that co-ops can band together, okay, outside of local food or farming and farmers and artisans. Co-ops can work together in a national co-op network that can have a collective buying power for things that do come beyond the local area. Those are, I mean, but anything's possible, in terms of who we work with. It's a matter of our community deciding. So this is a very democratically created thing. So if you have suggestions, you bring it to the table, just like that. Excellent. No questions here. We're very excited to have passed around the word. Awesome. Love the idea. Is waste and packaging a consideration for a co-op? Yes, always. I know by example, at the co-op that I was a member of, the waste was handled very differently than probably a traditional grocery store would handle it. We would do, we would have bins for donation with if the fruit or the vegetables, perhaps it wasn't going to go on the shelf, it would be donated. If it was completely ruined, it would go to compost. So, we try to keep things out of the landfill at all costs. So. Let's see, how will votes and decisions and meetings be held? Well, currently the meetings are held virtually. We will have a member owner meeting next month that's annual. Every year we have an owner meeting for all the owners to just kind of get caught up and also offer their inputs and ideas. And votes and decisions, ultimately haven't decided on that in final, but we are working on on our website to build the infrastructure to have login and have our members be able to log in and potentially just do this, potentially vote online through a secure portal. Is the purpose of this to try and alleviate huge issues like food deserts and economic funding in some of our more vulnerable areas? Or are we trying to create a local Whole Foods? Well, it absolutely does create a void. Certainly that will be considered in location. And now just keep in mind too, we open one store, and if we grow beyond the capacity of that store as Nashville continues to grow, and we could entirely think big and open more stores. Again, they're always going to be cooperatively owned, and they never can be bought or purchased by a corporate interest. So it certainly will never be anything like Whole Foods or creating another Whole Foods. Also, pricing at food co-ops is significantly lower than a lot of traditional grocery stores because, again, it doesn't exist for profit. It exists to support the local economy, eat well, and not pay a fortune for it. And I mentioned earlier about just the money staying in a loop of the local area. So with what profits are made, as they go back into the store, they also can be diverted into the community for causes that I mentioned earlier as mutual aid. How do food co-ops help the 40% of food waste that happens? Is a good question. I ultimately have the answer to that. They certainly, I know they operate with a lot more sustainable practices than traditional grocery stores, and from donating and then also composting and generally, again, keeping it out of landfill. But also what's still usable and edible is donated, or like was mentioned earlier, community fridges, etc.
John, do you mind if I give my 2 cents about that?
Please do.
One thing I really love about food co-ops is that the economic structure of it is one that supports farmers. And since farmers have a reliable place to sell their materials, the extra produce that they may not be able to sell at farmers markets or through other things doesn't go to waste. It goes to us because there's a reliable customer stream for those things. So aside from composting and donations and shopping seasonally and all those wonderful things that co-ops do, I'm an enthusiastic composter myself. That it also just in its business structure supports using some of those foods that would have gone unused.
Excellent. So right now it says, maybe I missed this, are co-owners volunteering their time to work shifts at the co-op, or are they paid staff members? Yes, this will be a paid staff members co-op, and this will not be, we do not plan for it to be a member working shifts. Other co-ops do that. but we plan to pay living wage to staff and paid staff. Our farmer referred me to this organization. How are farmers recruited, and are they all paid the same? I don't know about how they're paid. I don't know about paying the farmers, and we haven't started negotiating those types of terms yet, because we're still in our phase 1 and early stages of phase 2, but still in phase 1 here. And just recruiting owners, essentially the first 1,000 owners in Nashville that believe in this model and bringing it to life. But yeah, all farmers are able to present their goods to the food co-op for consideration. All right, let's see. We got, oh yes, living wage. You guys rock. Got to run, but love this. Awesome. Yes. So yeah, did I cover them? Is there anything I missed, Emily, in there?
I don't think you missed any questions, but I'm ready for more if anybody's got them.
Yeah, we've got a few more minutes if you'd like to. If anybody's got any more questions. And I'd like to reiterate, how soon we could get there in terms of opening a store. We could, again, conceivably be there. Well, we could be there as soon as we had about 1,000 member owners. But each person sharing at least with 1 or 2 people will definitely exponentially get us there quickly. So, does a co-op sell over-the-counter medicines like cold medicines and things, or is that determined by members? Usually, no. I've never seen that in a co-op. Yeah, but definitely the supplements and alternative things are usual in food co-ops, but not over-the-counter medicines. But it could be determined. I don't know what the criteria is of holding those types of things, or selling those types of things. But if the people wanted to, like, we all want to have OTC medicines, then I suppose that could be considered. That's something you just have to present, and a board would decide, likely, and then membership ultimately would vote. Cool. Well, it's about 6:30, which is, we said it would be until 6:30. So I hope that everybody enjoyed it. And please, if you do have any further questions or think of some later, you can email us, go to the website and send an email to the email address there. You can also sign up there if you're not already receiving our emails. We don't send a ton of them, but we do send stuff to let people know that we're having events or holding these type of events. And then, yeah, so thanks for being here, and look forward to seeing you guys in the future, virtually or in person after the COVID madness. All right. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.